people, welcome to Talk Talk. As usual, my name is Sammy. Now for here, we just talk about trending issues, entertainment news, celebrity gossips, what they go on for town, who they do what for town. Unless your matter don't come, a day here, I will talk about that. If you are first, subscribe to the channel where I'm subscribe. We are now clicking bell notification. So now the video be a 2-man. Ubenya alerts na obesha maye. Uye so ako Facebook aye wo honom Talk Talk GH. Ko follow ye wo ho na ye ni bom. Afin so the video no to wa mesro asa obesha ma dofo no mo so mo hwe bi na obi a nche na dwen asema ye na ye nko. Your friend yourself ya no me Talk Talk. Okay, then what is the talk of the town? And then the talk of the town, Papa, Godfather, Brapini, Charles, Niyama Mensa, aka Shatta Wale, aka Wando, aka Achidundu. And then, my father is a week when you know the Shatta Wale who asem kwana air trendy or media space nemo. Now when EOCO detainee Shatta Wale, the story in the Bremo channel we also. And at the year, there has been a lot of other developments. I was saying the Bremo, our channel we also. One of the major developments here. EOCO released letter giving reasons why I'm inviting Shatta Wale, reasons why I'm detaining. Now, some flags and so about out and run at time of releasing statements, about their course of EOCO. Some flags were so about out a video, a church and same 1 or 2 B.
Let me make it brief, very, very brief, as much as I can. From the beginning, Shatta has been out there and he has been vocal about this whole EOCO yellow Lamborghini saga. And according to him, when he bought this car and he was using it as his thing, reports came from EOCO that the car was linked to one Adubuahin, who is the National Signals Bureau boss, former boss, who is also dealing with the law over issues of state funds and all those things. Of course, when it was linked to him, Shatta proved to EOCO that no, this car, I bought it. Papers are here with me and all that. So initial stages, that was what was done. Car was picked up, but after he drove the car to EOCO he made sure the car goes to EOCO so that EOCO can do their investigation. 3 months down the lane, he wasn't hearing anything. Then he comes forward to talk about, this particular issue came up, that this and that and that. Investigation was being done about Adubuahin and the car. Nothing has been heard. So what has happened? That is why he came out to talk. Of course, when it happens like that, definitely, some people's egos will be bruised, and institutions wouldn't want some of these things to be done with their name or about their name, so their egos will be bruised, definitely, and some of these issues are likely to come up, exactly what we are hearing. Unfortunately, when that issue came out first, we saw a statement purported to have come from EOCO talking about the fact that Shatta Wale was having possession of a stolen vehicle, having proceeds of crime, something. In fact, a story that even till now, whether it officially came from EOCO or not, it is yet to be ascertained or verified, and that is also okay. We know when you live in a system like Ghana, some of these things you are likely to encounter them, and that is fine. So until yesterday, I think almost late in the evening, when an invitation came that EOCO would want to have Shatta for a meeting. In fact, let me even state emphatically that the first invitation was last week Wednesday. That was 13th August. When the first invitation came, but because of the state funerals and all those things, they postponed it to Wednesday, that is 20th August. And indeed, Shatta Wale decided that if an invitation has come for me to be at EOCO to assist in investigation, why not? I'm a law-abiding person, so he wrote there himself. He went to EOCO himself this afternoon that, okay, I've gotten your invitation that I'm supposed to be here to assist, or for me to assist you guys in investigating the yellow Lamborghini and all, and some of its related issues. And Shatta went there, presented himself to EOCO, and of course, EOCO started their investigation. So that's between our lawyer, that is lawyer Cephas. He was with Shatta throughout the interrogation process, and when it was done, he brought us information which stated that okay, after interrogation and everything, Shatta Wale is not involved in any money laundering, just as some people are putting out. Those are lies, total falsehood. They are not true. Shatta Wale is not involved in any money laundering. Shatta Wale has not involved himself in any criminal act, as some news portals, some credible news portals are putting out. They are all falsehood. They are all lies. Shatta Wale has not involved himself with anything. Shatta Wale went to EOCO, defended the fact that he bought his car, and I'm sure EOCO has issues with how he paid taxes on the car he bought, and that is what is in contention. What is in contention is the fact that okay, you bought it. How did you take care of the tax obligations around the vehicle he bought? And of course, when it comes to issues like this, now they'll be asking questions about your companies. How are you doing? How are you running it? How are you running your companies? Your tax here and there. And these are the issues at the moment in contention. And trust me, Shatta Wale and his lawyers are running it, and we are sure going to work this out as early as possible. Now, what is more important is the fact that indeed Shatta Wale has been detained at EOCO, because we went there late to start with. We went there afternoon, and going through bail processes definitely will take time, and we know how the system is in Ghana. When you understand the system, some of these things you are not really surprised by them, because you know how it works. So now what EOCO is demanding is that they still want to have him to investigate the car and the tax and all the issues around his company and all that. Therefore, before they can continue with the process, they want to give him bail, and a bail of 10 million Ghana cedis, with 2 sureties have been placed on the issue as it stands now. And I can promise you that management and legal officers of the dancehall king, they are working feverishly on this, and hopefully tomorrow we are sure going to, or hopefully Thursday 21st August, we are sure going to work this out for everything to be okay. As it stands now, I know many fans are worried, I know many fans are disturbed, and many intend to come to the EOCO office to at least come and show solidarity, to come and show support tomorrow morning, and that is all fine. Management will also be there tomorrow to continue with the process, because as much as this is concerned, we want to make sure everything is okay. Shatta definitely, if it happens like this, he would want to go into it to clear himself. If it happens like this, he would want to go himself to clear his head, at least, so he can have his freedom entirely and to move around his normal duty. So he decided to go himself, and I want to believe he's okay. He's cooperating. After interrogations, I spoke with him. He's very fine. He's cooperating, and he's making sure the law will take its course just as he wants it to be. And he's very, very cooperative with them, in good spirit and all. He said.
Now, this is from EOCO and Casa, because letterhead also, you can see the letterhead there, and there's also their address on the, there's a reference number, DP/145/145/16. News release, the media. Charles Niama, aka Shatta Wale, interrogated and granted bail. Charles Niama, aka Shatta Wale, was invited by EOCO to assist in investigations surrounding the 2019 Lamborghini Urus, a car identified by the FBI and the Justice Department as proceeds of a $4 million crime involving one Nana Kwabena Amwa, a Ghanaian who is currently serving a jail term in the USA. The investigation forms part of a larger investigation regarding possible co-conspirators in the $4 million crime, which occurred in the US, involving some Ghanaians and recoveries of the proceeds of the crime. Following requests from the FBI and the US Justice Department, EOCO to track the vehicle and conduct local investigations in respect of uncovering possible co-conspirators in Ghana, EOCO began looking for the vehicle until it was identified and seized in or around May this year in the possession of one Charles Niama Mensah. On August 15, 2025, a United States District Court of the Eastern District of Kentucky, Central Division of Lexington, in a criminal case of the United States of America versus Nana Kwabena Amoah issued an order forfeiting substitute assets on the Lamborghini Urus in question, authorizing the U.S. government to take possession of the said vehicle in Ghana as restitution for the crime. On August 5th, following a public claim by Charles Nyama Mensah that he purchased the car at a price of $150,000 from an unidentified party, EOCO issued an invitation to Charles Nyama Mensah to report on 13th August 2025, which appointment was rescheduled for 20th August 2025 at 10 a.m. to assist with investigations. Counsel for Charles Nyama Mensah indicated to EOCO officers that they would prefer to report at 11 a.m. EOCO readjusted its schedule to align with their time. Shortly before 11 a.m., counsel for Nyama called EOCO to claim that his client was not available and that he was also busy. EOCO indicated to counsel that he and his client were expected to report as scheduled. Charles Nyama Mensah arrived in the office around 3 p.m. and insisted that he was not going to cooperate until his counsel arrived, a right which he is entitled and was accorded him. EOCO investigators and Charles Nyama Mensah waited for 11 a.m. till 5 p.m. before his counsel showed up. Incidentally, EOCO closing time is 5 p.m. Nevertheless, EOCO staff and the entire operational team chose to carry on with the interrogation, which ended around 9 p.m. Officers eventually left the office around 11 p.m. Nyama was granted bail around 9 p.m. shortly after interrogation ended. He was granted bail of 10 million Ghana cedis with 2 sureties to be justified. Once the sureties are presented, hopefully this morning, EOCO will undertake surety inspection, which is standard protocol, after which Charles Nyama Mensah would leave custody. So far, Charles Nyama Mensah has been unable to identify the person from whom he purchased the said Lamborghini Urus vehicle, except to say that he purchased it from the street and from someone possibly called Zach, who may have contacted him on WhatsApp, but whose identity he does not know and whose contact he has thrown away. So far, Charles Nyama does not also possess any documentation in terms of receipts or transfer documents which shows that he owns or purchased the said vehicle, except a customs declaration document in his possession bearing the name of Nana Kwame Amoah, who is currently in jail. Signed, Public Head Relations for AG, Executive Director, date 21st August 2025. Okay, people, so this is the statement that EOCO released. And opa we are won't say you eat bread free oven more. How are you? This is what EOCO presented to us this morning, to the media this morning. And like I said, it doesn't add up with what Sammy Flex told us. And so I ask again, did Sammy Flex lie? And you know, being in the media, I understand how PR works. Sammy Flex is trying to do everything possible for his artists because it is his job. But personally, I feel like it is best for Sammy Flex to be forthcoming to the fans, to the people, to Ghanaians about this issue than to cut corners. Because there are EOCO workers in Seattle, and if there are Sammy Flex, there is a huge gap, a very huge gap between. Now, EOCO says Shatta Wale say Otoka will be a friend. Zach no also onim no oni Zach ne kasa o WhatsApp na Zach ne kra no wasan so add to the number naturally, so he can't even identify the Zach say onini. Another thing ni say EOCO person mo say Shatta Wale ba TikTok live be can say Otoka $150,000 US no, and them almost invite Shatta Wale biom because Adena Koye say omo hwehwe nipa na ka ni free ho be di Shatta Wale ho no. Inti Shatta Wale say Otoka na obi ho de a onche nipa kon. Now Shatta Wale so say nipa no onim nipa no no nipa na kasa o WhatsApp if nipa ne Zach na nipa ne po on to me identify no. Another thing I very mind boggling is Shatta Wale say ka na oto $150,000 no oni receipt be a che say ampa Otoka no wo simesi on receipt ni. There is no transfer, nothing that shows say Shatta Wale to Okano that amount Now, another thing I didn't hear very dicey and scary is that EOCO said the only documentation Shatta Wale has on his person to prove say Otoka no ana BBA, the document that bears the name of Nana Amuana or that jail or US no. So I don't know if you are following, but this is how murky this whole thing is beginning to look for Yebra Penny Shatta Wale. And being on the streets, no, I this issue is under investigation, which would probably maybe end in court. And you know, I'm not one to but being on the streets, no, I know say one of the key things on the streets is that you don't snitch. And based on that, I am sure, I'm not saying say sanity, this is my own personal opinion. I am sure say this is why Shatta is being quiet. But Charlie, this is Shatta Wale. This is Shatta Wale. The whole Ghana artists are open on the Beyonce. Come on. I don't think say Shatta Wale should be there for this thing to stay in his brand and all that. And something needs to be done. I mean, something needs to what gives. Like I am struggling. I have a lot of questions, but I don't know who to pose it to or where to pose it to. Into my question again, there's some reflex lie because release now EOCO for the buy documents we release we are EOCO for the buy there is no single mention of any tax in here unless some reflex what say or no kind of EOCO na try so then anyway, this is Talk your friend yourself. Maybe I'll try to subscribe here, subscribe my now click the bell there was no send the video be at tuma when you alert no be share my I feel so you are on Facebook or be your Talk GH best I say ko follow you ho na I feel so share videos no matter for comment section so you be at tum share what you want say my na bibi anya kama your friend yourself you know your Talk and I'm out.